Completely blow your mind. I couldn't believe it when I read it myself. But this is how the RCMP, CBSA, and the Trudeau government lost the US's trust in the fight against fentanyl. Surveillance operations in the US have raised alarms that place Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and a former cabinet minister in close proximity to Asian organized crime suspects. Watch this. Veteran law enforcement officials, both active and retired from the United States and Canada, have come forward with explosive allegations suggesting that Canada's federal government may have systematically obstructed investigations into the highest levels of Asian organized crime. According to those sources, American agencies, including the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, have grown so alarmed by suspected corruption and legal loopholes in Canada that they have effectively sidelined Canadian enforcement from sensitive investigations and intelligence sharing. You heard that right. The US no longer trusts Canada, that they actually do not inform them on sensitive investigations, nor do they share sensitive intelligence with Canada anymore. These American and Canadian experts pointed to the notorious case of Cameron Ortis, Canada's top former intelligence official who was convicted of leaking Five Eyes signals intelligence to some of the world's most dangerous Iranian state-sponsored criminals. I had no idea this even happened. And this is legit. This is Cameron Ortis right here, the ex-RMP official found guilty of leaking secrets who was rejected release on bail. He was the former Director General of the RCMP's National Intelligence Coordination Center. Unreal. Anyways, back to this article. It was mind-boggling. The Americans would say we have good reason to suspect that this particular CBSA officer is corrupt. A Canadian policing expert said this information would be provided to the higher-ups in CBSA with the understanding that this particular officer would not show up to any future joint meeting. So eventually there would be a meeting and the CBSA officer in question would show up at the meeting. The lead American investigator would end the meeting before it started. The Americans would shake their heads in disgust and disbelief. Experts have said that this growing distrust is the key reason why the United States has scaled back its collaboration with Canadian law enforcement over the past decade. Crazy. And I don't want to paint every CBSA officer with that brush as being useless. Some of them are excellent people, they added. But it's just run so poorly, the level of incompetence within Canadian law enforcement is staggering. I don't even think people understand. If they did, they'd probably be too scared to know how bad it actually is. Several veteran law enforcement officials say concerns extend beyond Canada's ability to confront transnational crime to the country's political leadership itself. According to two RCMP experts, quiet surveillance operations have raised